Let's jump right into this explainer. It's kind of funny how we obsess over proteins and carbs on nutrition labels. We count them, we track them, we debate the perfect ratios. But while we're doing all that, we are completely ignoring the actual unsung hero of our diet. It's the one nutrient quietly holding our health together from the inside out. So what is this mystery nutrient that over 90% of us are totally missing? When I ask people this, they usually guess some obscure vitamin or maybe a trendy new supplement. And when they finally hear the real answer, they honestly just write it off as a boring remedy for older adults. Or, something you only think about when your digestion is acting up. But I am here to tell you that is a complete myth. The answer is dietary fiber. And the statistics here are genuinely mind-blowing. The National Academy of Medicine found that only about 5% of men and 9% of women are actually hitting their daily recommended intake. Let that sink in for a second. Over 90% of us are walking around with a massive deficiency in a nutrient that is absolutely vital for our bodies to function at their absolute peak. So, what exactly is it? Put simply, dietary fiber consists of the parts of plant foods, like your apples, broccoli, oats, and lentils, that the human body literally cannot digest or absorb. Unlike fats, proteins, or other carbs that get broken down for fuel, fiber passes through your stomach, small intestine, and colon relatively intact. It acts like a superhero sidekick, doing all the heavy lifting in the background while the other macronutrients take all the credit. Now, it helps to think of the fiber family as having two main branches. On one side, you have soluble fiber. This acts like a gel-like sponge. It actually dissolves in water to form this thick, viscous gel in your stomach, which slows down digestion and actively helps lower your glucose and cholesterol. Then, on the flip side, you have insoluble fiber. This one doesn't dissolve. Instead, it acts like a digestive broom, adding bulk to your stool and sweeping material right through your system to keep you regular. And the best part is, most whole plant foods naturally give you a great mix of both. But wait, there's actually a third member of the family, and scientists are incredibly excited about it right now. It's called resistant starch. This is a unique type of fiber you'll find in foods like unripe bananas, legumes, and even potatoes that have been cooked and then cooled down. It gets its name because it literally resists digestion in the small intestine. It travels all the way to the colon completely intact, acting as a prebiotic. Essentially, it serves as an absolute banquet for all the good bacteria living in your gut. Section 1. Full body health benefits, more than just digestion. Okay, let's move past the bathroom stereotypes and explore the incredible full body impact this nutrient really has. First up, fiber is absolutely a heart health hero. Heart disease is the #1 killer globally, and fiber is right there on the front lines, actively defending your cardiovascular system. Let's break down exactly how it does this. That soluble viscous fiber works its magic by physically binding to excess cholesterol and bile acids in your GI tract. It basically traps them in that gel-like sponge we talked about, sweeping them out of your body before they ever have a chance to enter your bloodstream and clog your arteries. Because of this mechanical sweep, your liver actually has to pull existing cholesterol from your blood just to make more bile, which directly lowers your LDL, the bad cholesterol. It significantly lessens inflammation and drops your overall risk for cardiovascular disease. But fiber doesn't just protect your heart, it's also your metabolic guardian, basically acting as a gatekeeper for both your blood sugar and your waistline. Because fiber slows down the rate at which your stomach empties, it naturally keeps your appetite in check. It slows the absorption of glucose, which totally prevents those sudden, crashing blood sugar spikes you might get after a big meal. That improved blood sugar control is exactly why a high-fiber diet is so strongly linked to a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Plus, since high-fiber foods are bulkier and take longer to chew and digest, they keep you feeling full for much longer. You end up naturally reducing the overall calorie density of your meals without having to actively starve yourself. It's a total win-win. And of course, we cannot talk about fiber without talking about the microbiome. There is a profound connection between what we eat and the complex ecosystem of trillions of microbes living in our gut. Feeding this ecosystem builds a remarkably strong defense system. When you eat fermentable fiber, your good gut bacteria ferment it into short-chain fatty acids, which are absolutely essential for keeping your colon lining healthy. This guardianship promotes regular, comfortable bowel movements and lowers your risk for painful things like hemorrhoids or diverticular disease, which is when little inflamed pouches form in the weak spots of your colon wall. And perhaps most importantly, a high fiber intake from whole foods is heavily associated with a lower risk of colorectal cancer. Section 2. The fiber gap, recommendations versus reality. So we've covered the why. Now let's pivot to the reality of what we actually need to be eating to get these benefits and close that massive fiber gap. So what's the actual target? Well, the National Academy of Medicine breaks down exact daily fiber targets based on age and gender. If you are a woman under 50, your target is 25 grams. For men under 50, you're looking at 38 grams. And as we age past 50, those targets drop just a bit to 21 grams for women and 30 grams for men. Keep in mind, right now, most of us are only hitting about 15 grams a day. To close that gap, we really need to focus on the most efficient, nutrient-dense foods out there. We're talking about diverse traditional plant foods, whole grains like oats, barley, and brown rice, legumes, which, by the way, are absolute fiber powerhouses, like lentils and chickpeas, fruits where you leave the edible skin on, like apples and pears, hearty veggies like broccoli and carrots, and don't forget nuts and seeds, like chia and flax seeds. Notice the theme here? It's all whole, unrefined foods. There's a really great quote from wellness dietitian Amanda Beaver that I want to share. She says, "Fiber is best when it comes how it was packaged by nature." This is such a crucial piece of expert insight, especially with all the heavily processed low-carb or keto foods floating around. Manufacturers love to pump their sugar-free protein bars and shakes full of added synthetic fibers, like concentrated inulin or chicory root. While they are technically fiber, these massive isolated doses are notorious for causing severe stomach upset, gas, and bloating. You really want to stick to nature's packaging. Section 3. Adding fiber safely, the roadmap to a happy gut. Now, you might be totally motivated to go eat a giant bowl of lentils right now, but hold on a second. We need to address the very real side effects of eating too much fiber too quickly. I want to empathetically warn you here. Do not shock your system. If you go from eating 10 grams of fiber a day to 40 grams literally overnight, your gut bacteria will throw an absolute chaotic party. This rapid fermentation will lead to temporary, but highly uncomfortable, cramping, excessive gas, and major bloating. Sometimes, if you aren't careful, it can even cause temporary constipation, and no one wants that. To prevent all that, here is a super clear, actionable 3-step roadmap so you can successfully transform your diet without the painful digestive distress. Step 1. Start slow. Just add a few extra grams of fiber every couple of days over a few weeks to let your body adjust. Step 2. Mix your sources. Don't just eat massive bowls of oat bran. Balance your soluble and insoluble fibers by eating a diverse mix of veggies, fruits, and grains. And step 3. This is absolutely the most important one. Drink plenty of water. Remember, fiber acts like a sponge. If it doesn't have water to absorb, it gets dry and hard, which causes constipation. Hydration is the absolute key to keeping things soft and moving. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the incredible cardiovascular and metabolic protections of fiber, all the way to a safe roadmap for adding it into your routine. So I'll leave you with this one final provocative question. Your gut bacteria are hungry right now, just waiting for you to send down the nutrients they need to protect your body. What are you going to feed them today?